How do I even begin this thing? Something about the Boardvengers. Something more Boardvengers. Like and subscribe. Yeah, got it. Welcome back to another Boardvengers episode, everyone. I'm this week's host, Roberto, Shear Boardom, and I actually asked the Boardvengers. I asked around Boardvengers HQ what they were playing this month in January. So I reached out to all the Boardvengers. Let's see what they have to say. Let's start with Professor Meg.
Hello gamers, it's Professor Meg, and the game that I have played without a doubt the most in January, coming in at 10 plays, is Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. So if you know Classic Clank, it's a deck building game, but it also has a board where you're moving through the board, using the cards as your actions to get as many points as you can and as many treasures, and then get back out before anyone else, and then obviously, like most games, the person with the most points wins. Now, this is a legacy game, which means it takes a classic game and it adds a story to it, and then as a legacy game we are destroying cards, we are using Sharpies and making changes, we are adding stickers, we're getting to choose what the stickers do and where they go. So it's been a really fun journey. I've really been enjoying building our own Clank, and I also love the cheeky attitude from the Acquisitions Incorporated team. They're very funny. They have a lot of great flavor text on their cards. So definitely check it out. It's been a really fun time, really special. I've never played a game quite like it. And we have one game left and I cannot wait to play it again. So yeah, Clank Legacy by Acquisitions Incorporated.
Solid choice, Meg. I've heard nothing but good things about Clank Legacy. I'm happy it's getting all the tabletop time at your house, and I'm hoping that we can get it on our table as well. Let's check in on Nelson. Okay, I guess Nelson's not ready yet. How about Dave?
Hey there, this is Dave with Foundry, and the game that I have been playing the most this month so far has been Ausonia. Ausonia is a deck building game from Lycan Studios. You start, as with most deck builders, with a deck of, in this case, 12 cards. Relatively weak cards, some are action cards, and some are gem cards that give you resources. The interesting thing about this game is that as you get rid of cards, often through trashing, right? Instead of just discarding the card, it becomes a foundation that you can then build on with other resources that you get rid of later, that can become ongoing resources for the remainder of the game that you can use once each turn. So that's kind of a unique mechanism it has. You can also upgrade the gem cards that you have to these power cards, some of which are wild and can stand in as any of the colored gems, some of which have multiple of each gem on them. So that helps you build your power of your deck. And then there's a whole host of action cards that you can acquire to build your deck over the course of the game as well. With being a little bit more in lockdown this month than I have in past months, I've been playing a lot of this solo. So the great thing about this deck builder is it also comes in the box with 8 solo opponents. Each one has its own kind of unique style of how it plays its turn. So that definitely impacts the strategy that you do over the course of the game. And I've found it to be pretty varied. Pretty straightforward deck builder, but a couple of unique things that make it pretty fun. It's currently not available at retail, but I do believe that there's another printing coming, according to the Kickstarter comments, sometime in the second quarter of 2022. The other thing is I believe you can play it on Tabletopia as well if you have interest. So that's Ausonia. I've enjoyed playing it this month, and I recommend that if you get a chance, you should check it out.
Dave knocking it out of the park with that solo gaming adventure in January. Sounds like a good time. I'm happy that made your list for top game on your table for January. So what's going on with the Date Night Dice duo, Ben and M? What hit your table most in January?
Hey guys, what's up? January for us was about trying to set up a new system to maybe get through some of our shelf of shame, but still play old games that we love, but new games multiple times. So what we came up with was we'll play new games and old games and we'll alternate and we'll play every game twice and it'll be a ton of fun. So first up on the new games list was, drum roll, Merchants of the Dark Road, our recently received Kickstarter game that is a pick up and deliver game. Emily, what did you think about Merchants of the Dark Road?
I really like that it's like I would say medium weight game.
Mm-hmm.
We have the deluxe version, so the components are fantastic. It's kind of like a worker placement, but then you have dice, you have pick up and deliver, and then the scoring system is really unique.
Yeah, it is. So throughout the game, you're earning money and you're earning prestige by making deliveries. And this is either selling goods to heroes or delivering heroes to locations, delivering goods to locations, and you'll get money and you get prestige. And at the end of the game, the lowest of the two is your sort of base starting score before you get any of the bonuses. It's different, right? It's not deterministic. There's a lot of things where you have to think multiple turns ahead, but the entire state of the board changes by the time you get there. So you're gambling a lot of times on what you decide to invest into, whether that's into heroes, into goods, or whatever, that by the time you get to deliver those, you'll be able to, or that they'll be worth anything. So I could see how this could kill an AP-prone person because you're trying to think of probabilities and multiple rounds, and at the same time it's like a roll and move almost around this track. It's weird and different, and I liked it. I liked that it was weird and different. Now I'd heard some not too great things about this, and so maybe that tempered my expectations. But because of that, I enjoyed it even more. Now this isn't like the best game I've ever played, but the components, the artwork are like knocked out of the park. And the weirdness and differentness of it, it kind of reminded me of the Magnificent in a way, right? Mm-hmm. Magnificent's 12 rounds, this is 13, in that every decision is important, but you kind of don't know what your decisions are going to do. I don't know.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I would recommend if you can seek this out, give it a try. It is weird, it is different. Maybe try before you buy, but so far we have liked it.
Ben and M, don't tell Kate, but that AP gets me a Merchants of the Dark Road all the time. Solid that was your January pick. I enjoyed the game too. Let's check back in on Nelson. Still can't believe he's not ready yet. Alright, well, how about you, McKay?
Hey you guys, the Board Game Critic here, and the game that I have played most in the month of January so far this year are Unlock games. Now, I haven't played this one specifically, but it's come highly recommended. And then these two I have played. We've played 3 different versions of Unlock, and while they're not perfect games, and sometimes the puzzles are a little bit frustrating and seem pretty unintuitive, I can get past the fact that I like playing through a story. We've been able to include our kids in most of them, which has been a lot of fun. The kids get super into the story that's going on, and although their suggestions on how to solve the puzzles are usually way out there and completely stupid, it's fun just to be part of that with them. Me and my wife can do most of the stuff. The kids can search for the cards. And overall, it's just good family fun, which is what we're all here for, right? But yeah, as far as how I would rank Unlock games, I really should put up a blog post of how I rank the games. If you have ones that are your favorite, let me know. We have some friends that literally have every Unlock that has ever come out, and they just keep lending them to us. So it's been great fun to borrow them, play them, and then pass them back. We have a couple of our own that we just kind of pass around. It's kind of on a constant rotating circuit through different people. So Unlock games are super fun, easy and fast. And if you're unfamiliar with them, they're an escape room style game. Basically, you'll flip over a card, it'll have a location, and it'll tell you what cards you can flip. And then those cards come in 4 different categories. There's blue puzzle pieces and red puzzle pieces, which you have to have a red and a blue to put together. And then you have machines that are green cards. And then you also have yellow cards that are usually a 4-digit combination. And so you interact with an app on a timer. Some are more stressful than others, but really great time.
Unlock games, that's what I'm talking about. All day. Love them. All right, for reals, Nelson, you better be ready, dude.
Hey, what's up everybody? So Roberto asked me to send him a video of what I have been playing the most in January. So starting out 2022, what has been hitting our table the most often? Which is not really a fair question because that answer is always going to be the same for me. It's going to be a tie between Lord of the Rings, Marvel Champions, I didn't think about how old are these, and Arkham Horror. So I play these games on a weekly basis, multiple times every single week. And so that's really not fair, and I spend a lot of time talking about those on the podcast, on Boardvengers, and so I wanted to kind of break his rules a little bit, and we're going to focus on the game that came in 4th place, so right after that.
I can't believe you're breaking my rules. Just top game, that's it. Number 4, seriously?
So, this is a game that was actually kind of surprising to me. So I track all my board game plays, and so this helped me kind of narrow it down, and helped me figure it out, like what it is that I did play the most. And surprisingly, it was the Grizzled. So the Grizzled is it's a small box game. It's a cooperative game by Simon Games, and it's all about trying to survive World War I as French soldiers. So you're playing cards, you can't really communicate what card you have in your hand. You're trying to play cards and reduce the amount of threat on the total table. It's a very brutal game, very difficult to pull off a win. And it's one of those that's pretty easy to set up, pretty easy to get going, and really satisfying when you win. There are a lot of losses, and so it's really easy to just continue to play back to back to back to back to try and hope for that win. So not really a heavy game. I would say it's probably around maybe a 2 on the BGG weight scale, and so kind of out of character for me a little bit because I typically tend towards the heavier games. But the Grizzled is the game that I've been playing the most in January.
Thanks, Nelson, for finally being ready. It only took you long enough to talk about your game, your 4th game. So my game is gonna be Dice Throne. We played this game at PAX. We absolutely love it. We ended up getting Season 1, Season 2, and Dice Throne Adventures. It is such a wonderful, wonderful thing that we've gotten to our table plenty of times this month already. You choose a character, you have a deck of cards, and you have dice, 1 through 6, with different symbols. And it's Murder Yahtzee, yo. You upgrade your player boards, you throw some dice, and you activate a player power to deal damage or do some type of status effect, or whether it's negative or positive, and you just keep going back and forth until someone dies. So the HP count goes to 0. Your health points, kaputski. That's it. No mas. So that's what we're all playing at Boardvengers HQ. Thanks for watching this video. Comment down below if you've ever played any of these games we've played in this month of January. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, happy gaming.